जीतकर विधानसभा पहुंचे। 1997 में वो उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार में नगर विकास मंत्री रहे। साल 2009 में पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी के राजनीति से दूर होने के बाद लखनऊ लोकसभा सीट खाली हो गई और विरासत के तौर पर लालजी टंडन ने लखनऊ लोकसभा सीट पर बड़े अंतर से जीत हासिल की और संसद पहुंचे। लालजी टंडन को साल 1918 में बिहार के राज्यपाल की जिम्मेदारी सौंपी गई थी, जिसका उन्होंने बखूबी निर्वहन किया। लालजी टंडन को 11 जून को स्वास्थ्य संबंधी समस्याओं के बाद अस्पताल में भर्ती किया गया था। अपनी राजनीतिक इच्छा शक्ति, सूझबूझ और संगठन क्षमता के लिए लालजी टंडन को हमेशा याद किया जाएगा। ब्यूरो रिपोर्ट, डीडी न्यूज।
और उत्तर प्रदेश की राज्यपाल आनंदीबेन पटेल, मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ और उनके मंत्रिमंडल के सहयोगियों सहित अन्य राजनीतिक नेताओं ने लालजी टंडन को श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित की। योगी आदित्यनाथ ने कहा कि देश ने एक लोकप्रिय नेता, एक योग्य प्रशासक और सामाजिक कार्यकर्ता को खो दिया है। मुख्यमंत्री ने लालजी टंडन के बेटे और कैबिनेट सहयोगी आशुतोष टंडन से भी शोक व्यक्त किया। उत्तर प्रदेश में दिवंगत नेता के सम्मान में 3 दिनों के राजकीय शोक की घोषणा की गई है। मेघालय के पश्चिमी गारो हिल्स में बाढ़ के चलते हुए जानमाल की क्षति को लेकर केंद्रीय गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने राज्य के मुख्यमंत्री कोनराड संगमा से बात की है। अमित शाह ने ट्वीट करके ये जानकारी दी। उन्होंने लिखा कि पश्चिमी गारो हिल्स में बाढ़ के चलते हुई जान की क्षति परेशान करने वाला है। मैंने सीएम कोनराड संगमा से बातचीत की है और उन्हें केंद्र की तरफ से हर संभव मदद का भरोसा दिलाया है। देश इस चुनौतीपूर्ण स्थिति में मेघालय के लोगों के साथ है। और असम में बाढ़ के कारण चिरांग जिले में स्थिति गंभीर बनी हुई है और जगह जगह पर कटाव के मामले भी सामने आ रहे हैं। मुख्यमंत्री सर्बानंद सोनोवाल ने आज तुलसी जोहरा के आई नदी के नज़दीक के इलाकों में हुए कटाव और बाढ़ की स्थिति का निरीक्षण किया और अधिकारियों को युद्ध स्तर पर जरूरी कदम उठाने के निर्देश दिए। असम में राहत और बचाव का काम लगातार जारी है। खबर राजस्थान से, जहां बहुचर्चित भरतपुर के राजा मान सिंह समेत 3 लोगों की हत्या के मामले में आज फैसला आ सकता है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश पर 35 साल पुराने इस मुकदमे की सुनवाई मथुरा जिला जज की अदालत में हो रही है। इसमें 14 पुलिसकर्मी ट्रायल पर हैं। बहुचर्चित मामले को देखते हुए पुलिस ने अदालत परिसर में सुरक्षा व्यवस्था चाक चौबंद कर ली है। घटना 21 फरवरी 1985 की है। उस वक्त राजस्थान में चुनावी माहौल था। डीग विधानसभा क्षेत्र के निर्दलीय उम्मीदवार राजा मान सिंह अपनी जोगा जीप लेकर चुनाव प्रचार के लिए लालकुंडा के चुनाव कार्यालय से डीग थाने के सामने से निकले थे। पुलिस ने उन्हें घेर लिया था। ताबड़तोड़ फायरिंग होने लगी थी। घटना में राजा मान सिंह, उनके साथ सुमेर सिंह और हरी सिंह की मौत हो गई थी। उनके शव जोगा जीप में मिले थे। अगली खबर, केरल के सोना तस्करी मामले में एनआईए की विशेष अदालत ने मुख्य आरोपी स्वप्ना सुरेश और संदीप नायर की हिरासत 24 जुलाई तक के लिए बढ़ा दी है। विशेष अदालत 24 जुलाई को दोनों आरोपियों की जमानत याचिका पर सुनवाई करेगी। इस बीच एनआईए इस मामले के प्रमुख आरोपी सरित को तिरुवनंतपुरम लेकर आई है, जिसे जांच के सिलसिले में अलग अलग जगहों पर ले जाया जाएगा। पीएमसी बैंक घोटाला मामले में दायर याचिका पर दिल्ली हाईकोर्ट ने केंद्र सरकार, दिल्ली सरकार, आरबीआई और पीएमसी बैंक को नोटिस जारी कर 19 अगस्त तक जवाब मांगा है। याचिका में जमाकर्ताओं ने बिना किसी शर्त उन्हें चिकित्सा आपातकाल के मद्देनजर तत्काल 5 लाख रुपए तक निकालने की अनुमति देने की मांग की है। इस घोटाले के सामने आने के बाद कई दर्जन जमाकर्ताओं द्वारा आत्महत्या करने का मामला भी सामने आ चुका है। और अब बात दुनिया भर में कोरोना के हालात की, जहां ये महामारी लगातार फैलती ही जा रही है। पूरे विश्व में इस वक्त 1,46,41,000 से भी ज़्यादा लोग कोरोना से संक्रमित हैं और 6,08,000 से भी ज़्यादा लोग इस महामारी की चपेट में आकर अपनी जान गंवा चुके हैं। अमेरिका इस वायरस के संक्रमण से प्रभावित देशों की सूची में सबसे ऊपर है और यहाँ 38,23,000 से भी ज़्यादा लोग कोरोना से संक्रमित हैं और 1,40,000 से भी ज़्यादा लोगों की कोरोना की वजह से मौत हो चुकी है। देश के कुछ राज्यों में संक्रमण की रफ्तार स्थिर बनी रहने के बाद अब कोरोना के परीक्षणों में फिर से तेजी लाई जा रही है। कैलिफोर्निया के गवर्नर के संक्रमण के मामलों पर चिंता जताने के बाद लॉस एंजलिस में कोरोना टेस्ट कराने के लिए बड़ी संख्या में लोग जांच केंद्र पहुंचे। संक्रमण की स्थिर दर को खतरा मानते हुए प्रशासन की कोशिश है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों का टेस्ट किया जाए ताकि सामुदायिक संक्रमण का खतरा कम हो सके। यही वजह है कि लॉस एंजलिस में काफ़ी दूरी तक कोरोना जांच कराने के लिए कतारों में लगे लोग नजर आ रहे हैं। और इसी के साथ हिंदी समाचारों के इस बुलेटिन में फिलहाल इतना ही, लेकिन डीडी न्यूज़ पर खबरों का सिलसिला लगातार जारी है। अनुमति दीजिए, नमस्कार।
मन की बात। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी भारत की जनता से साझा करेंगे अपने मन की बात रविवार 26 जुलाई सुबह 11 बजे। आकाशवाणी के सभी केंद्र, सभी चैनल इसे प्रसारित करेंगे एक साथ। इसके अतिरिक्त दूरदर्शन के YouTube चैनल और प्रसार भारती के ऐप न्यूज ऑन एयर पर सजीव प्रसारण लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग के माध्यम से। तो याद रखें, रविवार 26 जुलाई सुबह 11 बजे मन की बात।
हमारी आज की तेजस्विनी एक ऐसी महिला है जिन्होंने पुरुष प्रधान माने जाने वाले क्षेत्र में न केवल कदम रखा बल्कि अपनी क्षमता की धमक भी दर्ज करा। एक व्यवसायी के तौर पर क्या महिला या पुरुष होना कोई मायने रखता है?
जो महिलाएं अगर आगे बढ़ना चाहती है तो उन्होंने अपना खुद का जो स्ट्रेंथ है उसे बढ़ाना चाहिए, ना कि हमारी जो वीकनेसेस है उसके ऊपर फोकस करना चाहिए।
आप खुद अपने आप को किस तरह देखती हैं?
व्हाटएवर आई डू मैं फुल कमिटमेंट के तौर पे देखती हूँ, चाहे वो प्रोफेशनल लाइफ हो, चाहे वो पर्सनल लाइफ हो, चाहे वो फैमिली मैटर्स हो, चाहे माय ओन पर्सनल हेल्थ हो, पूरा कमिटमेंट लेके मैं चलती हूँ।
मन की बात। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी भारत की जनता से साझा करेंगे अपने मन की बात रविवार 26 जुलाई सुबह 11 बजे। आप भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री के मन की बात का हिस्सा बन सकते हैं। इसके लिए आप अपने सुझाव 23 जुलाई तक टोल फ्री नंबर 1800-117800 पर रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं या माईगोव के ओपन फोरम में पोस्ट कर सकते हैं। तो याद रखें, रविवार 26 जुलाई सुबह 11 बजे मन की बात।
हिंदुस्तान एक ऐसा मुल्क है, अनेक प्रकार के लोग रहते हैं, बहुत से अलग अलग मजहब है, अलग अलग जाति है और अलग अलग हमारा पोशाक है, अलग अलग हमारी जबान है। ऐसा कोई मुल्क दुनिया में नहीं है
Rajasthan High Court continues hearing on Speaker's notice to Sachin Pilot and 18 other Congress MLAs. Congress Legislature Party meeting underway to discuss about the political situation in the state. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to deliver keynote address at Virtual India Ideas Summit tomorrow. Summit to witness discussions on areas including India-US cooperation and future of relation between the two countries in a post-pandemic world. BJP lashes out at Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar asked Congress to note India's achievements in war against Corona and to stop insulting Corona warriors. Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal launches Mano Darpan, an initiative under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan to provide psychosocial support to students for their mental health and well-being. Says mental health and emotional well-being is significant. Union Home Minister Amit Shah speaks to Meghalaya Chief Minister Sangma Conrad Sangma over flood situation in the Garo Hills, assures all possible help from the centre. Says nation stands resolutely with people of Meghalaya in these trying times. Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon passes away. 85-year-old leader breathed his last at Medanta Hospital in Lucknow. President, Prime Minister and other senior leaders offer their condolences. Last rites to be held this evening. Over 3,33,000 COVID tests conducted in India in various labs in the last 24 hours. 23 states and union territories record higher tests per million than the national average. More than 7,24,000 recover from COVID. And over 1,46 lakh COVID-19 cases reported globally. Death toll crosses 6,08,000. Over 10,000 cases reported for the 6th consecutive day in Florida, the United States. Crowds gathered to conduct corona tests in Los Angeles. Welcome once again. In our top story, amidst the political crisis in the state, the Rajasthan High Court has concluded hearing on the petition of former Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot and 18 other rebel MLAs of the Congress. 19 rebel MLAs of the Congress have filed a petition seeking dismissal of the disqualification notices served to them. The court will now hear the petition filed by two independent parties at 2 p.m., following which the court will give its final decision. Meanwhile, Congress Legislative Party meeting is also taking place at Hotel Fairmont in Jaipur. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot is attending the meeting. In the evening, Speaker C.P. Joshi is likely to take action against the rebel MLAs irrespective of the court's decision. And BJP Rajasthan President Satish Punia has condemned Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot for his choice of words for party leaders. He said that it only shows that his government is morally weak and they are blaming the BJP for their infighting. He also clarified that he keeps visiting Delhi for party-related work but did not go to Manesar or meet any dissident Congress MLA.
राजस्थान की सरकार जिस तरीके से संकट में है और मुख्यमंत्री ने आज इस तरीके की भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया, उससे ये साबित हो गया कि उनका नैतिक साहस अब टूट गया है। अपनी घर की टूट को बीजेपी के माथे पड़ना पुरानी आदत थी, लेकिन आज जिस भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया वो मुख्यमंत्री की भाषा नहीं थी, शोभा नहीं देती। लोग दिल्ली जाते हैं, पार्टी काम से जाते हैं, लेकिन उन्होंने जो कहा, मैं मानेसर में सचिन पायलट के गुट से मिलने कभी नहीं गया, ज़रूरत भी नहीं है, लेकिन उन्होंने जो कहा मुझे लगता है आधी अधूरी जानकारी के आधार पर और केवल किसी भ्रम और अफवाह के आधार पर मुख्यमंत्री जो बात कहे, तो मुझे लगता है कि ये भी दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है।
And Vishal Baristo now joins us with more. Vishal, well, the Rajasthan political Congress party crisis reaches an interesting stage with the court hearing today. Well, we seem to have lost contact with our correspondent Vishal. In other news from Rajasthan now, the Central Bureau of Investigation has questioned Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's OSD and close aide Devram Saini in connection with the suicide case of Rajasthan police officer Vishnu Dutt Vishnoi. A special crime unit of the CBI Delhi is in Jaipur to probe into the death case of Vishnoi, who was SHO of Rajgarh. The team questioned OSD Devram Saini for about 2 hours this morning. The CBI also had questioned Congress MLA and Olympic medalist Krishna Punia yesterday in connection with the suicide case. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will deliver the keynote address at the India Ideas Summit tomorrow. The summit is being hosted by the US-India Business Council. This year marks the 45th anniversary of the formation of the council. The theme for this year's India Ideas Summit is Building a Better Future. The virtual summit will feature high-level presence from Indian and US government policymakers, state-level officials and thought leaders from business and society. Other key speakers at the summit include Minister of External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar, US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, Senator of Virginia and co-chair of Senate India Caucus Mark Warner, former US Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley, among others. The summit will witness discussions on areas that include India-US cooperation and future of the ties between the two countries in a post-pandemic world. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar lashed out at Congress leader Rahul Gandhi for insulting people of India and brave corona warriors. The Union Minister slammed the Congress leader, listing the Congress party's achievements in the past 6 months from Shaheen Bagh and riots in February to political turmoil in Rajasthan.
मुझे लगता है कांग्रेस पार्टी अब केवल ट्वीट की पार्टी बनकर रह जाएगी, क्योंकि जनता में काम नहीं, एक के बाद एक राज्य गंवा रहे और इसलिए हताश निराश भी सरकार पर कुछ भी प्रहार करने की चेष्टा कर रही है, वो सफल नहीं होंगे.
And the Union Minister further said that the Congress will be reduced to a party that just tweets. He added that a dejected party is attempting to attack the centre in every manner but will not succeed.
आज उन्होंने ट्वीट किया फरवरी से जुलाई तक क्या किया, तो हम भी उनको जरा हिसाब बताते कि राहुल बाबा 6 महीने की आपकी उपलब्धि क्या है. फरवरी में शाहीन बाग और दंगे, मार्च में सिंधिया और मध्य प्रदेश गंवाना, अप्रैल में श्रमिकों को उकसाना, मई में ऐतिहासिक हार की 6ठी वर्षगांठ, जून में चीन की वकालत और जुलाई में राजस्थान में पार्टी तबाह. तो यही आपका काम चल रहा है.
And the Union Human Resource Development Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal launched Mano Darpan, an initiative to provide psychosocial support to students for their mental health and well-being. The Mano Darpan initiative has been included in the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan as part of strengthening human capital and increasing productivity and efficient reform and initiatives for the education sector. Mano Darpan portal will act as a sustainable psychosocial support system for all students, teachers and families. HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said that through Mano Darpan, students can communicate with physicians and psychologists. He added that Mano Darpan will guide students in adverse situations.
पूरी दुनिया जब कोरोना का महासंकट आया है और उस महासंकट के दौर से गुजरती पूरी दुनिया कहीं न कहीं किसी न किसी परिस्थिति को झेल रही है और ऐसे में स्वाभाविक है कि ये जो दबाव है, ये तनाव है, ये जो वातावरण है, ये मनुष्य को परेशान करने के लिए इस समय उपस्थित हुआ है और इसलिए इसके सामने चुनौती के रूप में हमको इसको स्वीकार करना है. ये मनोदर्पण ये आपको ताकत देने के लिए है. मेरे अभिभावक, मेरे छात्र, मेरे अध्यापकगण और आम आदमी ये इससे ताकत ले सकता है, क्योंकि हमारी ये कहावत है, मन के जीते जीत हो, मन के हारे हार. जो व्यक्ति मन से हार गया वो जिंदगी में हार जाता है. जिसका मनोबल बड़ा है वो विपरीत मौत को भी पार कर देता है, विपरीत परिस्थितियों में भी अपना मार्ग निकालता है.
And the case fatality rate in the country continues to register a steady downfall. It has dropped to 2.43% as of now. India has one of the lowest case fatality rates in the world. More than 7 lakh persons have been cured of COVID-19 and discharged so far. This has further expanded the difference between those who are active COVID patients and the recovered persons by 3,22,048. 7,24,577 COVID patients have recovered from the virus so far. The recovery rate as of now is at 62.72%. Medical attention is being provided to all 4,02,529 active cases in hospitals and home isolation. 28,084 patients have died so far. The latest testing strategy of ICMR allows all registered medical practitioners to recommend testing. According to the Indian Council of Medical Research, 1,43,81,303 samples have been tested for COVID-19 so far. Of these, 3,33,395 were tested yesterday. Union Health Secretary Preeti Sudan and ICMR DG Dr. Balram Bhargav have written to all states to ramp up testing capacity. And the results of the seroprevalence study in Delhi show that on an average across the national capital, the prevalence of LGG antibodies is quite low. The Ministry of Health and Family Welfare had commissioned the serosurveillance study in Delhi. According to the survey, a large number of infected people remain asymptomatic here. Results of seroprevalence studies show that nearly 6 months into the epidemic, a less percentage of people have been affected in Delhi, which has several pockets of dense population. This can be attributed to efforts taken by the government as well as citizen compliance to COVID-appropriate behavior. The study has been conducted by the National Centre for Disease Control in collaboration with Delhi government following a rigorous multi-stage sampling study design. The study was conducted from 27th of June to the 10th of July 2020. And for more on this, we are joined by our guest who's joining us during right now, Professor at the Department of Medicine in AIIMS, Dr. Ashutosh Biswas, who joins us on the phone line. Dr. Biswas, when we talk about the results of the seroprevalence study showing on average the prevalence of LGG antibodies is quite low, what do we basically mean?
Hello.
Right, Dr. Biswas, what
Hello.
does, right, Dr. Biswas, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. What do we understand when we say that the prevalence of LGG antibodies is quite low when we talk about the seroprevalence study in Delhi?
See, as we know, most of the cases are asymptomatic. As we have seen, about 70 to 80% patients, they don't have much severe infection. They just have infection, but 80% they are very safe. Now, about 20% people they are infected. Out of that, almost 1/4 people are developing antibody. Now, this antibody people probably, as due to infection, it is very low. And these antibodies are, what are the antibodies? These are after infection when the blood, the virus goes inside the blood, that immune reaction, and the body develops antibody against this virus to neutralize, to kill these viruses. So we have seen that this antibody after maybe 7 days or 5 to 7 days, these antibodies are developed, and if the viruses there, automatically they are killed up by this antibody. These viruses are killed. So they're naturally immune protected. So after infection, their immunity is high. So not likely to have the infection maybe in the second or third time. But it is not 100% that probably these antibodies, those 23% developed antibody, are very much immune. So there are also maybe chances of getting infection because there are many other serotypes also. So this antibody developed against one specific serotype may be protective. We need to know further how this behaves, and this is a new viral infection, so we are not very much sure. So these antibodies are present in the plasma that we are giving plasma therapy, and these antibodies are ready-made antibodies present in the plasma. It works like a vaccine. So it's a ready-made antibody when we give to the plasma to the one infected person. It directly acts against the virus and neutralizes the virus. So this is how these antibodies are important, 23%. And they are the ideal people to donate the plasma. antibody for the infected people. And this is a very important area, so we can save the life of the others. And this is not present in 100% of the patients. Those who are infected, those who are survived, because the low viremia and infection is not in a systemic blood virus. This virus, the coronavirus, are not present in the blood. So the immune response and the development of antibody in those patients are less. But that is, if the antibodies are less among the infected people, so probably they had very mild infection, and they may have their chances to have infection in second time or third time because they don't have any immunity against this coronavirus. So therefore, these 1/4 of the people are quite safe, and this coronavirus, as 80% are asymptomatic, so people we should not be very much worried about, and we are having only 2.4% mortality compared to other whole world. You can see is a 10%, 20%. So Indian population, probably we are at a very safe side, and the mortality is very almost lowest.
Yes.
So probably we have immunity and natural immunity, hard immunity that we call, because we are exposed to the various infections, so that may give a cross immunity, and we are developing also 1/4 of the
So,
people immunity.
Doctor,
Yes.
as you said, very positive results, very positive signs, but despite the large number of the asymptomatic cases, the risk of infection continues. As studies continue and progress is being made on all fronts towards a cure and towards a vaccine, very quickly, what would be your advice to Delhiites?
In relation to vaccine?
Right. In relation to precaution and the way forward from now.
Yeah, because in Delhi especially, we have seen over weeks more than that, the cases are declining. But in overall all India, if you go for the total cases, it is alarming situation. So probably this decreases the two regions. 1/4 of the people, they are already developed the antibody, and then second is your preventive strategy. Probably people are already adopting all preventive the tools that distancing and use of mask, sanitization.
To the new normal, sir. Yes, very correct. Right.
So those people. But as this lockdown is open, probably we are not sure whether alarming waves may be coming in future. So we have to be very, very careful about that also. We should not be very happy that yes, in Delhi is decreasing the cases, and we should be relaxed. This is not. This is the right time to keep this the curve flattened and decreasing trends.
Right.
We have to maintain this by maintaining this situation.
Right. Thank you very much. Dr. Biswas joining us on the show for giving us his inputs on that story. And well, the plain belt of the Garo Hills have witnessed a surge in water levels over the past week, with most areas submerged underwater, facing an uphill battle against the deluge caused by the backflow of the Brahmaputra. The surging flood waters, which affected over 175 villages in the plain belt of Garo Hills, claimed 5 lives, including 4 minor and a woman. All of them are from Tikrikilla community and rural development block in West Garo Hills. The government has announced ex gratia to the families of the deceased. Over 1,70,000 people have been affected directly or indirectly due to floods in West Garo Hills district alone. The district administration has set up 22 relief camps, and gratuity relief is being provided. And Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the loss of lives due to the floods in West Garo Hills in Meghalaya is very disturbing. In a tweet, he informed that he has spoken to Chief Minister Conrad Sangma and assured him of all possible help from the central government. The nation, he said, stands resolutely with the people of Meghalaya in these trying times. And as Assam witnesses continuous showers, no significant improvement was seen in the overall flood scenario. today. Above 24 lakh people still remain affected in 24 districts and 2,254 villages under 70 revenue circles, along with more than 1,09,000 hectares of cropland, which are still submerged. However, one more person lost his life yesterday, and this has led the flood-induced fatalities to reach 85. Adding this to the number of deaths due to landslides, the total has gone up to 111 this season. The Brahmaputra in 5 districts, along with other rivers, is above the danger mark. Goalpara, Borpeta, Morigaon and Dhubri are the worst affected districts. Over 48,000 inmates are taking shelter in 276 relief camps presently. The Chief Minister of Assam, Sarbananda Sonowal, today inspected flood and erosion affected areas near the Ai River in Tulsijhora and directed officials to take necessary measures on a war footing. Several parts of Chirang district are facing floods and erosion. Relief work is on 24/7. And Special NI Court today extended custody of Swapna Suresh and Sandeep Nair, accused in the gold smuggling case, till July 24th. The court will consider their bail applications on the same day. Meanwhile, the NIA brought the prime accused in the case, Sarith, to Thiruvananthapuram. He is now being taken to various places as part of the investigation. And the Delhi High Court has sought a reply from the centre, Delhi government, the RBI and PMC Bank on pleas filed in the PMC Bank scam case. The plea seeks the release of up to 5 lakh rupees to depositors of the scam hit Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank Limited to help them address health issues during the prevalent COVID-19 pandemic. The court has asked them to file replies before the next date of hearing on the 19th of August. After the scam surfaced, several depositors allegedly committed suicide. And an MOU has been signed between the Central Board of Direct Taxes and the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs today. The MOU was signed by Chairman of CBDT Pramod Chandra Modi and CBIC Chairman M. Ajit Kumar in the presence of senior officials. This will facilitate the bilateral exchange of data and information on an automatic and regular basis. However, Finance Minister claims that the MOU marks the beginning of a new era of cooperation and synergy between both organizations. And Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon breathed his last days after he was put on ventilator support in Lucknow's Medanta Hospital. The 85-year-old BJP leader was getting treatment for liver and urine infection. His body would be taken to Gulala Ghat Chowk in Lucknow in the evening today, where the last rites will be performed. Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel was given additional charge of the state following Tandon's illness. President, Vice President, Prime Minister, besides other leaders, condoled his demise. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news. Namaskar.
Drop, cover, hold, hold.
Hey Akshay, has everyone understood? Good, very good. Let's do it again. When an earthquake strikes, go to an open place. If you cannot, then first drop down,
cover your head. Hold on to something tightly, or go to a safe corner and cover your head. Learn to protect yourself during an earthquake. Your wisdom lies in your preparedness. Always ensuring your safety. NDMA.
डीडी फ्री डिश, भारत की एकमात्र फ्री डीटीएच सर्विस। अब देखिए आपके अपने पसंदीदा चैनल डीडी न्यूज चैनल नंबर 1 पर, डीडी नेशनल चैनल नंबर 2 पर, डीडी भारती चैनल नंबर 60 पर और डीडी इंडिया चैनल नंबर 84 पर। डीडी फ्री डिश, मनोरंजन का संसार सीधे आपके द्वार।
हम आज फिर ये युद्ध लड़ने आए हैं, हम आज फिर अपना फर्ज निभाने आए हैं। हमारे भी घर वाले चिंता करते हैं, पर आज देश की कोरोना से लड़ाई है।